back to my channel. So I'm sorry that I don't have on any makeup. It is the weekend, and so I don't do anything. I don't put makeup on. I don't do my hair. Honestly, I don't really do anything. I just kind of relax. So this video is going to be about my student teaching experience. So if you are new to my channel, I went to school to be a teacher. And so right now I'm working as a paraprofessional at the school that I did my student teaching at. So we are just going to get right into this video, and I'm just going to kind of talk about my student teaching binder, which I got it was returned back to me on Thursday when I went to my university to take an exam. So we're going to talk about this honkin' thing and all the fun stuff that is in it. And then we're going to talk about, I'm going to give a quick run through about my college, how I got to student teaching, and then I'll just kind of tell you the good and the bad and the ugly. Honestly, I feel very lucky. I feel like I had a very good student teaching experience. Obviously, it has its trials because I had to learn how to work with somebody. And I had never had to work with anybody who, was used to being a teacher and being in full control of their class, and then they had to give it up. But I had a great cooperating teacher, which I will refer to her as a CT. So we're just going to get right into it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. I love seeing you guys' comments. I love chit-chatting with you guys. It's so fun. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So to start off my college experience, I went to a community college that is pretty close to my house, and sorry, and I graduated with my associates in early childhood education. And so then I went to the university that I got my bachelor's in, which is Texas Lutheran University, and I went there for 2 years. Well, 2.5 years, because the student teaching is like a half that I didn't really account for. Like, I could have taken like a couple extra classes here or there and gotten it done sooner, but I just kind of I wanted to enjoy my college before, full-on adulting. So I went to Texas Lutheran, and there were only 3 classes that I had to do that weren't education courses. They were just courses that are a requirement of the university, so it was like personal well-being, theology, and like a psychology type class. But I got those done my first 2 semesters, so I didn't have to, after that it was only education classes. And so you have to apply for an education program. So I applied for the program my second year there, the first semester. No, it was my second semester that I was there, right before the second year, something like that. So I applied, I interviewed, they kind of give you a mock interview at my university, which I thought was really cool because it kind of gave me an idea about what it would be like when I have a real interview. And so we did that, and then I got in, and I did everything that was required of, in that nature. So that was good. And then, after 2 years of education classes, I got right into student teaching. And so for student teaching, we started 2 weeks early. And we did a lot of team building, and their classroom management, and it's reading across the curriculum. It was some reading class are the 2 classes that we took, that we had to take, and then the student teaching class, which basically you don't go to school. I didn't go to my university, but I had to go 4 times. I went every day for 2 weeks, and then I went 4 times throughout the semester for seminars. And then I went the last week of classes. We went and we had final projects that we had to do. But I did have a professor come. I called her. She was my professor, and then I called her my advisor, but she was still my professor. She came and she would observe me teaching. She came like 4 or 5 times, which was really cool. Extremely stressful, but it was good. It was great. But we'll get into that in a second. But at the start of the semester, we did our 2 classes, and we did team building with the other people in our class, because it wasn't like a normal class. I mean, it was a normal class, but it wasn't really a normal class, because there were like 4 EC to 6 majors, and then there was like a bunch of music majors, and then a couple of high school and coaching majors. So it was a very broad group that they had to teach to. And so we thought, it's cool to get to know each other. We became best friends. I'll be completely honest. I just messaged them. We made a Facebook group. I just messaged them the other day, and I was like, I miss you guys. And so we were all catching up on how our tests are going and how everybody's life is. And it was just really cool to be able to, kind of catch up, because it's been a while. We graduated in December. December 15th was the last time we saw each other, actually saw each other. So, we did a team building activity at this park near our university, and then, that was the end of it. Until we would see each other at our 4 little, I don't even know what they're called anymore. I should know, but I don't know. 4 little things where we watch, people came and talked to us. They're basically seminars. And then that last week of class. So, I'll just kind of I'm going to talk about what happened when I first started student teaching. I feel very lucky. My CT, it was very hard to try. I had to learn a lot. I learned a lot from her, and I had to learn how to work with someone, and she had to learn also, she works really good with people, but she had to learn how to work with someone who has never taught before and never, no experience at all other than observations that were required. So it was definitely a change of pace for both of us, and thankfully she was so willing to give me her class and let me experience being a teacher and critiquing me on it and helping me learn how to, the best way to write a lesson plan and the best way to teach my kids. And honestly, it was a good experience. I think there was one day that I went home and I felt flustered, but it was just because it was a crazy day and my kids were crazy, and you have those days where things get so wild and you feel like you don't have any control. So, the cool thing about my CT was before the semester even started, she said, why don't you think of a new classroom decoration? Because she said she had done Pete the Cat all the time, and she wanted something new. And so I was like, okay, but I wasn't sure what all that entailed. So I felt like I still feel now like I did not fulfill setting up the classroom like I should have, because it was a mixture of Pete the Cat and the Very Hungry Caterpillar, because I picked the Very Hungry Caterpillar, but I wasn't sure everything that needed, because I've never been in a classroom, I've never set up a classroom. It was just very different. That's all I can say. So, the cool thing is, though, she said, you pick it off a book. So I picked the Very Hungry Caterpillar, and I thought into it. I was like, they can start off as caterpillars, and then at my school, they graduate in kindergarten. So they graduate as butterflies. And so it was amazing. So I went and I put, we line up in the classroom. You have to line up before you leave. I made a worm in our room out of die cut circles. They're that big. And they would line up on their circles. And so it kind of it really brought in the caterpillar part of it. And then at the very beginning of the year, we were required to do 4 bulletin boards, or 3. 4. I don't know. I did like 6, so I don't even know what was required and what wasn't required. I just went with it. But sorry, I keep looking out the window because it looks like it's gonna rain, and I love rain. So I'm just like watching, waiting for it to rain. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so since she let me come up with that theme, I went ahead and was like, the first bulletin board I'm going to do is going to be with my classroom theme that I picked. So I handmade this like huge butterfly, and I painted it and everything, and I put it on the board, and then I don't even remember what my saying was. It was cute, whatever it was. I will insert a picture so you guys can see. It was so cute. And then I cut out like the actual, or I printed out the little caterpillars from the book, and I laminated them, and then I wrote all of our names on them. So like all the kids and myself and my CT. And it was fun because it was like, you know, we don't know each other yet. Like, we didn't know our students didn't know us, but we were already like together on our board, and it was just cute. So I was really, really proud of that. So that was my first bulletin board. And then my second bulletin board was on the book Rosie's Walk, and it was an interactive board, which was super fun. So I kind of like, I didn't have a bulletin board in the classroom that they could, or that I could like put it on, that they could reach. So I went ahead and I like made the little section of a dry erase board like that we didn't use. I made that into a bulletin board, and I tied little string onto the chicken and the fox, and it like went through it, and I don't know, it was just fun, and we turned that into a center. So it was really, really cool. So I did that for my second one, and then my third one was, I did a fall bulletin board, which was intense. We used Promethean boards in the school that I did my student teaching at. And so I was in kindergarten, and so it was it's really low, and it's on the wall. We had like I don't know, it was just like a fancy board basically. And so what I did was, again, I didn't have a bulletin board, and the kids didn't have to reach this one. So I put it up above the Promethean board, and I made a tree with like, it was like a hardcore tree. I like rolled up the paper and made it look like 3D. It was fun. And then we had, so I like made this hardcore tree. It was like 3D, super fun, and I die cut these leaves like all fall colors, and it said happy fall, y'all, and it was just fun. I don't know, I thought it was cute. So we did that, and then I made another one for Christmas time because I left 2 weeks, the end of my student teaching was 2 weeks before Christmas break, so I went ahead and like changed it and made it to a Christmas, I took all the leaves down, so it was like, obviously, you know, winter, there's no leaves on the tree. And then I put lights, we have die cut lights, so I put those on there, and then the kids like decorated little snowflakes, and we put those on there. So that was super fun. Oh, and there was a snowman. There was totally a snowman. You know what? We didn't do snowflakes. I put the snowflakes on the door. But there was a snowman, and I like made the snowman, and he was super cute. So if I can find the picture, I will totally put it in here. I have like a folder of pictures from student teaching, but I don't know what else in it. It's just like a big Mod Podge of craziness. So those are my bulletin boards, and honestly, it was super fun. Like, I loved it. So now I'm going to talk about my binder. I was so excited about this binder. I even decorated it. Like, student teaching binder, Amber McGuire. And this was from the drug-free week. A kid gave it to me, and like, I can't get it off. Like, it's up, but it's leaving marks. So it's okay. We snuck out drugs, and that's okay because stomping out drugs is the best. So I just left it on here because it's cute. It's a fun memory from student teaching. I don't know if I'm going to keep this binder forever or not. I know that one thing that I am keeping forever is my reflection spiral. I had to do a daily reflection every single day of student teaching. It was intense, super intense, but it's fun to look back on. So like, I went ahead and I wrote like faculty meeting reflection, and I wrote the dates so I can look back on it. Open house, kinder team meeting. So, and there were a couple reflections that, like, obviously our daily reflections were a requirement, but these, like the faculty meeting and stuff, I had to type up and submit onto like our portal that we use. But I went ahead and I put like every day of student teaching. Student teaching day 1, I said what week it was, what the date was, and towards, I don't even know what week I started doing it. Probably like week 3 or 4, or, you know, wasn't that. Week 4, I went ahead and I was like, I should put the day of the week that it is. So I put Monday, Tuesday, and my professor signed it. Or, she looked at it. She did sign them, too. And we had to submit this, like I said. And so she read all of them. And, like, there was one day where I wrote something and I was like, I think I'm getting the hang of it. And she said, like, she wrote a comment and she was like, you are so getting the hang of it. And it was just a good feeling. And like right here, I said, it was the best, I said, I had one student tell me that I was the best teacher ever. And so she went and she put a smile, like she put a little smiley face by it. So it was just fun. And there was a couple weeks where she had this so she could read it. It was like part of our midterm grade. We had to submit this so she knew we were doing it. And it wasn't like some last minute thing we were doing. So she took this, and so I had to like type up all my reflections, and I printed them and cut them out. So I don't know, like this is just fun to look at. And I will tell you guys, there's one day that I didn't write. Amber, what? Well, I mean, you can see also, like, obviously I missed a day or two. That's okay. I, had other things I had to do as well. And my reflections got smaller because I wasn't as in-depth as I should have been. And like this one says, like, I taught all day and it went great. I made sure the kids were engaged and they seemed to enjoy everything. I managed to get to centers again because I always struggled with time. Like, time management I'm much better with it now than I used to be. But at first I could not handle time management. But, the last entry that I did was, today was an easy day. I helped the kids make stained glass ornaments all morning. Then we had a graduation party for me. It was so sweet. Then all we did was have the kids watch Wildcrats and end the day. It was a really fun and easy day for all of us. So, since I read that to y'all, my kids threw a graduation party for me on my very, very last day of student teaching. And it was amazing. We told them that I wasn't coming back because they were so used to me being there, and they were like, if I missed the day, they were freaking out. Like, why is Mrs. McGuire not here? What's going on? Where is she? So, it was just nice that they, they threw a party for me, and I call them my kinder babies. I miss them so very much, but I do have new little pre-K kiddos. They're my pre-K babies, and I love them just as much as my kinder kiddos. So, now I'm going to talk about this really big binder. So, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So this is my binder, and I have an information tab, which I'm not going to show you guys what's behind it. It's literally just some insurance. And so the insurance is like a requirement that we had to have. It was, it's through ATP. I think it's like ATPE, something like that. And it was free to us. It's for student teachers, and it's just coverage, like just in case anything happens, you're covered and everything is safe. So that is what is underneath the information tab. I did have calendars and all that fun jazz from the school and from my university, but I took all that out because I ran out of room. But that is what is underneath the first tab in my binder. So let's go to the second one. So I'm going to show you guys this lesson plan out of the lesson plans that I did. And I'm sorry if it's wobbly. It's just because I'm holding my phone. But this was the lesson plan that we did. And so the way that it was set up was we did our TEKS and we identified and highlighted levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And then we did our objectives. So I will, we will, you will. Observations and what was in the lesson, key vocabulary, grouping. This was whole group. I did this the whole time that I did student teaching. We used Haggerty, so that's what this is. Attention getters, time management, and then it was like the beginning, the middle, and the end of the lesson. So you just kind of write that. And then this was reflections that were required, and I did not want to type them. So what I did was I would write my reflections. The strengths, the strengths, what went well, what didn't go well, how I wanted to change it, and all of that fun stuff. So there was this that I would do, and then it got crazy when I was teaching all day long. When I taught all day long, in every subject, I had like 5 or 6 lesson plans that I had to write, but thankfully at first I was doing it by the day, and then I was like, let's do it weekly. And I asked my advisor and she was like, work smarter, not harder. So that's what I did with that, and it got better. It did. So I mean, you know, student teaching was pretty awesome. It really was awesome. Honestly, I believe, and I think that it's safe to say that my student teaching experience was amazing. I had an amazing cooperating teacher. My class was good. Like I had a good class. Honestly, all classes are good. You just have to learn how to handle them. I can say that I had bad time management, but it did improve when I learned that having timers is best. And then, you know, with time, things get better. And I feel like if I could go back and do student teaching all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. It was one of the best experiences I have ever had. I miss my kinder babies so much, but now I have new pre-K kiddos, and I'm working on my certifications, so, you know, it's getting better. Everything is playing out the way that it's supposed to. So, if you guys have any questions or any requests about student teaching, especially if you're going to be student teaching next semester, go ahead and let me know. Okay, sorry. We're going to ignore the knocking on the door. And not yet. I'm ending my video. I gotta end it. Children, I work with them. So anyways, hold on. So, where was I? If you are just about to be starting your student teaching, go ahead and let me know, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. I will let all of you guys know that I am a stressor. I had a planner, and I wrote down, like, when is my professor coming to see me? What do I need to have done by this day? What do I need to have submitted for this? We know, when is all of this stuff done? So, if you have any questions at all, feel free to write them in the comments. If you want any tips on student teaching binders, I can give you guys that. I know every university is different, and this is what ended up working for me in my student teaching. I did have, like I said, I had like 5 tabs. I had an information tab. I a pictures tab. Like, I had all kinds of stuff. But at the end, it was just like, it needs to have my lesson plans, and it needs to have my information, and I need to have my reflections done. So, that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Remember, feel free to subscribe, like, comment. I would love all of it. I love having you guys follow me on this journey. And stay tuned for my next video. Hopefully, I will have one up tomorrow. Hopefully. Hopefully I will. You know, I'm still trying to get this happy balance. I have my nieces here. They're spending the night tonight. And they... That's my nieces, and the little one in the pink cheerleading outfit is my neighbor's granddaughter. And so they're hanging out and playing, and don't worry, my mom is watching them while I am in here doing my video. So they're running around playing outside, enjoying the nice weather. I guess it's not going to rain. But yeah, remember, like, subscribe, comment. Like I said, I love talking to you guys. And stay tuned for the next video. Bye, guys.